Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Vanessa Durian. I'm a member of the News Partnerships team at Google, and I'm delighted to walk you through this webinar showcasing upcoming changes in Chrome and how you can best prepare for them. These changes are focused on user privacy and the overall browsing experience. Today we'll provide you with some practical steps and with hopefully some really helpful resources for you to navigate this transition in a smooth way. So let's get started. Today's webinar is part of the extensive offering of trainings and resources provided by the Google News Initiative. Before we dive in, let's quickly remind ourselves what the Google News Initiative is all about and how you can benefit from it. The Google News Initiative works with publishers and journalists to fight misinformation and to share relevant resources with the intention to contribute to a diverse and innovative news ecosystem. We are here to help newsrooms around the world to find, to verify, and to tell engaging stories. We also provide training in various digital tools in different languages around the world. We partner with newsrooms, fact-checkers, and other organizations to fight misinformation, elevate quality journalism, and to support media literacy. We are also interested in developing new formats and advancing technology on the publisher side and within the newsroom. Some of you might be familiar with the Journalist Studio, which uses AI and machine learning to help journalists with research and storytelling. Since its launch in 2018, the GNI has supported more than 6,700 news partners in 119 countries through a $300 million fund. The Google News Initiative is one of Google's most significant efforts to support the news industry. For more details about the initiative or about its offerings, I kindly invite you to visit the GNI website. Today's webinar is also part of the extensive training offer of the Google News Initiative, so thank you for joining us today. Now let's dive into the core topic of today's webinar. We have 3 items on our agenda today. First, we'll give you an overview of what third-party cookies are most commonly used for. Then we'll provide you with some suggested next steps to prepare for a world where cookies are not available anymore. And finally, we'll walk you through a Chrome extension from Google that will help you understand and track what third-party cookies your site uses. But before we dive in, I'm inviting my dear colleague Gabby from the Privacy Sandbox team at Google to help me walk you through the expected changes. Over to you, Gabby.
Thank you, Vani. Hi, everyone. I'm Gabby from the Privacy Sandbox team based in the UK. On July 22nd, 2024, Chrome announced that instead of deprecating third-party cookies, they plan to offer an experience that lets users make an informed choice about their web browsing. While details of this new path are still being discussed and will be shared when ready, it remains important for developers to have privacy-preserving alternatives and for publishers to understand where they have reliance on third-party cookies so they can implement the most appropriate data solutions. Today, Vani and I will give you an overview of the most commonly found third-party cookies and next steps to help you understand your reliance on them. Later in the session, we'll cover the Privacy Sandbox Analysis tool, also known as PSAT, which you can use to understand your reliance on third-party cookies on your site, like in sign-in flows or payments. We use data from the Open Cookie database to categorize cookies, and the numbers shared are averages from the PSAT tool. Next, Vani and I will talk about different types of cookies and what they do, and Vani will start off with marketing cookies.
Thank you, Gabby. I guess it comes with no surprise that the largest category of third-party cookies across our publisher landscape is marketing cookies. These are cookies placed in the browser by a party other than the owner of the site a person is visiting. They are used to track visitors across the websites, gathering information about their browsing habits. And the data collected is often used by advertisers to deliver targeted ads that are relevant to the user's interests. Last year, Google Ad Manager and AdSense announced that publishers who have first-party cookies enabled will be able to serve personalized ads with minimal technical effort. When a publisher allows, Google uses first-party cookies to improve ad relevance on a publisher's site based on ad interactions users took on the same site. These first-party cookies are used to create aggregated audiences to help advertisers reach audiences in browsers where third-party cookies aren't available. Publisher first-party cookies cannot be used to track users across the web. They are scoped per publisher, are not shared with other publishers, and can't be joined with any other identifiers, and are also subject to user consent. When publisher first-party cookies are enabled for ads personalization, ads are shown based exclusively on a person's behavior on a single publisher's website. Publishers' first-party cookies respect people's ad personalization preferences as they indicated through the ads choices controls. As digital ads evolve to meet people's changing privacy expectations, we are working on new ways to make it easier for publishers and content creators of all sizes to continue to thrive. Gabby will now walk you through the next category of cookies to watch out for.
Thanks, Varney. Next, I'll talk about the second group, functional cookies, which made up 27% of third-party cookies. Functional cookies are necessary for a website to function properly. They enable basic functionalities like page navigation, sign-in and registration services, and payment services, to give you a few examples. Finally, I'll hand back to Varney to talk about analytics cookies.
Cheers, Gabby. Let's look at the last big category of third-party cookies to watch out for, namely analytics cookies. They are used to gather information about how users interact with a website. They provide you with insights into their behavior, like the number of visits, the most popular pages, and the average time spent on the site. If you use Google Analytics, you may have migrated from Universal Analytics to Google Analytics 4 last year. As some background, Universal Analytics was built for a generation of online measurement that was anchored in the desktop web, independent sessions, and more easily observable data from cookies. However, this measurement methodology is quickly becoming obsolete. Meanwhile, Google Analytics 4 operates across platforms, does not rely exclusively on cookies, and uses an event-based model to deliver user-centric measurement. Now that we have learned about the most common third-party cookies relevant for the upcoming changes in Chrome, I would like to go over how you can start preparing for them. To help you understand what cookies you use and provide insights on how Privacy Sandbox APIs work in Chrome, the web privacy team at Google created a Chrome extension called Privacy Sandbox Analysis Tool, in short PSAT, which my colleague Yu will walk you through in a second. The tool offers a great starting point to work with your own developers and third parties to discuss your third-party cookies and make a plan for moving forward in a scenario where third-party cookies might not be available anymore. So, as a next step, we recommend double-checking common user journeys on your site that may be impacted by the upcoming changes. These include things like page navigation, content personalization, comments, different types of sign-ins or registrations, payments, and access to secure areas like paywalls. If any of these journeys rely on third-party cookies, you'll need to explore alternative solutions. You might be using plugins or other code libraries for marketing features, site functionality, or analytics to provide a smoother site experience, like, for example, keeping your audiences logged in, saving site preferences, or allowing third-party logins. In all of these cases, it might be helpful to review common use cases for third-party cookies. If you use Google Ads, DoubleClick, Tag Manager, or any other Google product, you might be using an outdated plugin or code library. If you use a CMS like WordPress or Newspack, update your plugins in your CMS dashboard or settings, or contact your vendor directly. If you use Google Sign-In on your site, such as for subscriptions or donations, you will need to update the code library to the newer Google Identity Services library. For more information on Google Sign-In, you can go to goo.gle/signin. And now I'm delighted to invite my dear colleague Yu from the web privacy team at Google in London to walk us through a Chrome extension called Privacy Sandbox Analysis Tool, which we internally refer to as PSAT. It was developed as an open source project, so if you want to learn more about it, please check out the GitHub. Over to you.
Thank you, Bonnie. So let's take a look on how we can get started with Privacy Sandbox Analysis Tool. So first, before we install this extension, let's create a new Chrome profile so that we can get a clean environment without any prior cookies, user preferences, or other extensions. Go to goo.gle/psat. Next, select the Add to Chrome button in the top right corner. Privacy Sandbox Analysis Tool needs to access the Page Debugger backend, read and change your data, and manage your apps, extensions, and themes. To approve, select Add Extensions. It should take a few seconds to install. Next, open a new window and go to your site. To use the extension, select the icon to the right of the address bar and select the Analyze this tab button. If you're not seeing this icon, select the puzzle piece icon and it will open a list of your extensions. After you select Analyze this tab, the Privacy Sandbox Analysis tool will classify all observed cookies as first or third-party cookies. The tool uses and contributes to the Open Cookies database, an open source effort to describe and categorize cookies in the ecosystem. So for more information on your cookies, you can go to Chrome DevTools by right-clicking and selecting Inspect, and then selecting Privacy Sandbox. Under the Cookies sections, you'll see a list of all your cookies. It gathers information about blocked cookies and the reasons for blocking. This helps you to understand why certain cookies might be blocked and identify potential impact on your website. Let's take a closer look at the tool using the Privacy Sandbox demo site, walking you through sample website breakages. So here I have a demo website of a checkout page open on a Chrome browser with third-party cookies restricted environment. The website domain name is domain-bbb.com, and we have an embedded payment system using the third-party domain service from domain-ccc.com. Let me complete the payment process using the test card information. By the way, when you do the demo by yourself, be careful not to use your real card information. I submit payment and it shows the error message, payment failed. So by checking the Privacy Sandbox Analysis tool, we can see that the tool observed the third-party cookies that has been blocked on this site. So we can assume that this cookie might have impacted our online payment process. Let's check again if this breakage happens with third-party cookies being allowed. So now I have allowed third-party cookies, particularly for domain-bbb.com. By submitting the payment, now it worked. Let's open the Privacy Sandbox Analysis tool in Chrome DevTool again. And now we can see that the updated information that there's an exempted cookies allowed by user preferences. So this was a very simple example using the demo site, but it effectively illustrated how third-party cookies can impact your website functionality. So once your Privacy Sandbox Analysis tool is ready to use, work with your developers to start testing and make a plan for a future with limited third-party cookies. Start exploring privacysandbox.com for alternative solutions to mitigate breakages. Also, connect with your third-party providers to ensure they have a plan for addressing non-ads breakages. And remember to report any breakages to the Privacy Sandbox team at goo.gle/report-3pc-broken. Your input is crucial in identifying and developing effective Privacy Sandbox solutions. And finally, talk to your ad tech providers about their timelines for ads-related solutions. Thank you, and now I will pass it back to Vani.
Thank you so much for walking us through the tool and the demo you. We hope that this webinar was useful in providing you with practical next steps on how you can prepare for the upcoming cookie changes in Chrome. Our aim is to make these sessions as useful as possible, so I would love to ask you to take a moment to leave us some feedback. In the meantime, I would like to thank you very much for your participation and time.